and I'm with the Consensus and Collaboration Program at CSU Sacramento. So I'm going to just start with a few technical items and just give you a sense of the meeting, and then I'll hand it over to the welcomers, our welcomers from the consortium and the partner agency team. So next slide. Just a quick Zoom orientation for those of you who may not be constantly using Zoom like some of us. So we'll go over a few items. Just at the a major piece here is if you are having technical issues, for those of you who can hear or can see, you can check with my colleague Julia Van Horn, and her number is 530-574-7508. So that's, you can text or call or contact her through the Zoom chat. So next slide, please. So for those of you, we've started out with everyone on mute. When it comes time to conversations, if you want to unmute yourself, that's in the lower left-hand corner if you're on a computer. And then right next to that is your video, which you can stop and start. Feel free to use whatever your comfort is in terms of video. If you're on the phone, you can dial *6 to mute and unmute. Next screen. There's the video. And then next screen. So for chat, the chat box is down at the center at the bottom. Feel free to, there's private chat options, there's public chat options. Feel free to use the chat for any questions or comments as you wish. Note that any private chat will be part of our archive at the end, so it's not ultimately private. And also, if people are sharing any links in the chat, make sure you know and are comfortable with the person sharing it before you click on it. And also, just for the record too, we are recording the meeting, so you'll want to keep that in mind. Next screen. So when we get to opportunities to comment and ask questions in plenary, if you click on participants, then you'll see a little blue raise hand, and so that's the way to get in the queue to speak. And then we'll also see if we have any people who are just on telephone, and if so, we'll check verbally for that as well. You can dial *9 to raise your hand from the phone, but clearly you don't have a way to sort of visually check to see that you've raised your hand. Next slide, please. Okay, so that's our quick Zoom orientation. We will be sending you into breakouts later on, but that shouldn't require you to do too much. We'll send you in and pop you right out without you needing to click anything. Okay, so just quickly for the agenda today, we will start out with welcoming you, and we have some messages from some of the major folks involved in launching AB 1755 and from the state. We will update you on the state and consortium accomplishments, and then we will introduce you to the folks involved from the state partner agency team, our new consortium CEO, Tara Moran, and the consortium board of directors. From there, we'll turn to framing the year ahead, and that will help you get an idea of this overall framing of where things are going that will help to inform the breakout conversations where we're hoping to hear more specifics from what you're looking for from the consortium and from this process. And then we'll get you out at 4 o'clock. Just general meeting agreements when you're in your breakout discussions with people, we suggest that you share the air, avoid interrupting, honor time. We will honor your time and get you out by 4. And please, we suggest interacting with a spirit that all ideas and points of view have value. We have a lot of diverse folks and diverse perspectives involved in AB 1755. We appreciate them all, and we want to create that space for learning from everyone. And with that, I can transition it now to Cami Argravecci, Planning Division Manager from DWR, and Mike Myatt, who's chair of the Consortium Board of Directors and also the program officer for the Water Foundation.
Thank you, Ariel, and welcome everybody. My name is Kamyar Gavechi with the Department of Water Resources. I want to welcome you on behalf of the state partner agency team to this webinar. And we know that these are trying times, but there are big opportunities and needs. And this event is really intended to go to the next level in the implementation of AB 1755, or the Open and Transparent Water Data Act. This event is a time to re-engage, to get updates from us on work and activities and accomplishments since last fall, and then to give us an opportunity to hear from you about your water data work and suggestions for moving forward. It's also a time to regroup, to get prepared for our future work. And in large part, this is going to be in and around the blossoming California Water Data Consortium. AB 1755 has changed the landscape of the state's water data publication. And in my 40+ years with the state of California and the Department of Water Resources, I can say that the state partner agency team is the first of its kind when it comes to water data publication. It's transformational. The level of agency alignment is excellent and increasing. We're solving problems collaboratively, and we're developing new relationships across state departments. The Newsom administration's water resilience portfolio will be coming out very soon, the final version. And you'll see that it reinforces the implementation of AB 1755. With that, I'd really like to now introduce the co-MC of this event, Mike Myatt, and just let you know that we were colleagues at the Department of Water Resources, and we've been partnering together when Mike worked at the Water Foundation and now the chair of the Water Data Consortium. You know, Mike's been instrumental in framing AB 1755 and in its implementation. And he's one of the founding members of the consortium, which I consider as the new open water data public-private partnership. With that, Mike.
Thank you, Kamyar. Very nice introduction, and it's a pleasure to continue working with you since my service at DWR and into where we are today. On behalf of the Consortium Board of Directors, I want to welcome all of you. I wish we could all be in person. That was certainly the original plan when we talked about this several months ago. Obviously, several months ago, like before March. We thought we'd be wining and dining together, but I'm glad so many of you were able to join us virtually today. And I think in light of recent events, the role of data has become even more prominent, and it will continue to be critical to address crises in our future, not just public health, but also fire and water. So that, coupled with everything that's happening in the water data community, is just a really exciting time to be working in this space. And there's really exciting things happening both inside and outside of our borders in California. So turning to what we're here to talk about today, I'm first of all really excited about hiring Tara Moran as our CEO, who you'll get to hear from later. The partnership with the state partner agency team and the collaboration with a number of other water data efforts, including the National Backbone Internet of Water Organization, the California Water Data Collaborative, the annual California Water Data Challenge. There's just a number of them. We've also seen new initiatives outside of California, including in New Mexico, that had a Water Data Act that was modeled after AB 1755 that passed a couple of years ago, and in Texas. There's innovative programs of national or regional scope like OpenET, the Western States Water Council's Water Data Exchange, and many others. So whether it's your first time jumping into the water data arena, or if you've been a long time follower of everything that's been going on related to AB 1755, I hope that there's things today that you will learn, and we want to hear from you. I hope if it's your first time joining us that it won't be your last. And Kamyar provided an excellent overview of AB 1755 and what's happened in California, and I know you'll hear more later in the program. So I don't want to talk too much longer, but I will just emphasize the role of the consortium. It is a new 501c3 organization, but that doesn't mean it's just about the board of directors or just about the partner agency team. It really is designed to be a neutral space, to have dialogue and create roadmaps for future decision making in California related to water. And so we want it to provide real opportunities for engagement for anyone who's interested, whether that be water users or technical experts or policy makers or community members. And we want to strengthen and diversify the network of partners committed to advancing water issues in California. So we're really glad that you're here with us today. So let's get on with the program. We're going to hear next from some leaders in the state, and I have the honor of getting to introduce them. So first, we'll have a video from Senator Dodd. So Senator Bill Dodd needed to be on the floor today, but he wanted to share a message with us by video. He represents the 3rd Senate District, which includes all of Napa and Solano counties, and portions of Contra Costa, Sacramento, Sonoma, and Yolo counties. Important for us today, he was the author of the Open and Transparent Water Data Act, or AB 1755, when he was in the Assembly, which passed in 2016. So we would definitely not be here today were it not for him. So I'd like to thank Senator Dodd and his legislative director, Les Spahn, for their vision and leadership. And maybe we could turn to the video now.
It's my pleasure to address the Water Data Consortium and the state partner agency team today during this virtual meeting. Thank you for inviting me to make a few brief comments. First, let me welcome Tara Moran as the first president and chief executive officer of the California Water Data Consortium. Tara, your reputation precedes you, and I'm certain you will be able to take the Open and Transparent Water Data Act to its next level and beyond. As the author of AB 1755, I continue to be incredibly impressed at the progress made to advance the idea that well-managed water data can vitally assist well-managed water programs such as SGMA, Eco-Restore, and drinking water quality, among others. I said in 2016, when presenting AB 1755, that data exists in many locations on hydrology, water quality, water rights, water use, and much more. And the amount of data is always growing. However, many water operators and regulators have been unable to harness this information and make the timely science-based decisions that can lead to a more sustainable water future. Now, with the implementation of the Open and Transparent Water Data Act, we can acknowledge the tremendous potential of California's water data to help the state meet the growing and competing demands placed on our water resources. I want to thank the Department of Water Resources for convening the partner agency team, including the Office of Planning and Research, Fish and Wildlife, and the Water Resources Control Board for organizing this Water Data Consortium. With the architecture to implement the Open and Transparent Water Data Act now in place, I anticipate much success in the effort to make water data accessible, useful, and well utilized. Thank you all, and good luck.
Great. Next, we have the pleasure of hearing from Secretary Wade Crowfoot. Wade serves as the Secretary of the California Natural Resources Agency, where he oversees 19,000 employees charged with protecting and managing California's diverse resources. This includes stewarding the state's forests and natural lands, rivers and waterways, coasts and oceans, fish and wildlife, and energy development. As a member of the governor's cabinet, he advises the governor on natural resources and environmental issues. He also used to be the executive director of the Water Foundation. So I got to know Wade during a couple of years that he was with us. And we are fortunate that he is also a leader in the water data space. And so we'd like to share a video he recorded now.
I'm Wade Crowfoot, our California Natural Resources Secretary. First and foremost, I hope this message finds you safe and healthy as we continue to confront the coronavirus pandemic and, of course, racial injustice, which has come to the fore in recent weeks. As we confront those major challenges, our priorities remain intact, including building the resilience of our state on the topic of water. I wish I could be there with you in person today as you meet to talk and to explore and advance our use of water information, water data to manage our water resources better in California. The old adage deserves repeating. You can't manage what you don't measure. And you all know that. And over several years have been focused on better use of water data and information to improve our water resilience. This, of course, includes the implementation of Assembly Bill 1755, which the partner agency team has very competently worked to implement. Big thanks to Cami and Chris from Department of Water Resources, of course, Debbie from OPR, and so many others for leading this effort. And we've made progress. I'm very glad to be with you on this next milestone, which is, I believe, the formal organization of the Water Data Consortium and the first meeting with its new CEO, Tara Moran. We in state government who focus on water issues are really excited that Tara is coming on as a leader and really excited that this Water Data Consortium will begin its work in earnest. Big thanks to Mike Myatt from the Water Foundation and so many others in philanthropy for creating this first of its kind consortium that brings together all users and generators of water data in the state to ensure that we actually have a platform for using and sharing data that's actually workable and usable across our state by water agencies, environmental groups, disadvantaged communities, academic researchers. And so I have high hopes for the Water Data Consortium. Know that our agency, the Natural Resources Agency, our sister agency, California Environmental Protection, California Department of Food and Agriculture, we're all rooting for the success of the Water Data Consortium. And we look forward to partnering with you and supporting you in coming months and years as you advance this critical priority. Best of luck for a successful meeting and successful months and years to come on this important priority. Thank you.
Great. It's good to hear from Senator Dodd and Wade. I wish they could be here. I guess I shouldn't say in person, more live, I guess would be the right way to term this in this virtual space. But really appreciate their messages and taking the time to do that. Next, I have the honor of introducing someone who is here live with us, State Board Chair Joaquin Esquivel. Joaquin was appointed to the State Water Resources Control Board by Governor Brown in March 2017 and designated by Governor Newsom as chair in February 2019. He previously served as Assistant Secretary for Federal Water Policy at the California Natural Resources Agency in the Washington, D.C. office, where he facilitated the development of policy priorities between the agency, the governor's office, the California congressional delegation, and federal stakeholder agencies. For more than 8 years prior to that, he worked for U.S. Senator Barbara Boxer of California. He's a real leader on water issues in California, and we're so fortunate to have his engagement on water data efforts. And it's a pleasure to have him join us here today. Joaquin, I'll hand it to you now.
Thank you so much, Mike. And just really want to first thank Cami and DWR and all our partner agency team members for what's been an incredible couple years now of implementation of AB 1755. You know, as I know, all of the great leaders that I see here before me, and I know many on this call understand, data are the core of all of our decision making. And we at the State Water Board are called to make some difficult decisions, but so are so many of our communities throughout the state. And the more that we can continue to create this space, and the consortium is such a critical part of this, along with other partners like the Internet of Water and other nonprofits and academics out there, to hone our resources, continue to make better decision support tools, and really break down the walls across the water sector that sometimes can inhibit good decision making. We at the board have our own data enterprise to do well by. to make sure that we're collecting data in a way that is non-duplicative, that is easy to be collected, and most importantly, that we are transparently showing how that adds up to decision making. I'm as holding the seat at the public board, I feel a strong understanding and need around the importance of data platforms to help us make better decisions. And the consortium, and again, these other I think it's subsided a bit there. We're obviously in a new era and have platforms that I think show the side that these platforms are really critical and important. And this transparency and the discussion that we're all having, I think, as we can see, can lend itself to some abuse sometimes. But what I'll just finish on and say that I know I'm so proud of is the spirit and space of the work that we have in front of us, particularly around water and water decision making in the state of California. There is a lot that we have to overcome. And so thanks for everyone for being able to apologize and move through, I think, what was an interesting, unfortunate, but byproduct of these platforms moment. But I know that we're all committed to this work, and just thank you again for the space. Thanks, Mike.
Dealing with that situation and total pro there. I apologize to everyone for that. Thank you to the technical folks who took care of that so quickly. I think next up, as I recall, Chris is going to be talking about some accomplishments for us. Chris is leading the effort at DWR and AB 1755 implementation. Thanks, Chris.
Thank you, Mike. Yeah, it's my pleasure to be affiliated with this team. As most of you are probably quite aware, AB 1755 was signed into law in September of 2016. So we've been on this journey for quite a while, in a manner of speaking, but it is absolutely a journey and not a destination. And it's something that we're all going to continue working together on for probably the remainder of our careers and perhaps our children. But we are very happy with the accomplishments that we have seen so far. It's thanks to a lot of cooperation among a lot of different entities. And with that, I think the smart thing would be to begin the to begin the video and not try to do what the video will do much better. Enjoy.
California passed the most robust water data legislation in the nation. Every person in the state, from rural to urban, small to large communities, nearly 40 million people, not to mention ecosystems and the economy, rely on the sustainable management of the state's water resources. The weight of the responsibility is particularly evident during drought conditions. Recognizing the importance of data-informed decision-making in the wake of severe drought, the legislature passed Assembly Bill 1755, the Open and Transparent Water Data Act, with the goal of improving water resources management through development of an open-source platform that integrates existing water and ecological data. The law required the Department of Water Resources, in consultation with other state agencies, to develop a strategic plan for implementation by January 2018, as well as the development of protocols for data sharing, documentation, quality control, public access, and promotion of open source platforms and decision support tools related to water data. DWR organized the partner agency team, which includes 8 state agencies working collaboratively to implement that act, including development of the strategic plan and standards and protocols. While the act charged state agencies with integrating fragmented water and environmental data systems, the state on its own cannot ensure increased usability and usefulness of data for decision-making. External partners, including academia and the research sector, are essential contributors to support a broader rethinking of data systems and data-enabled management. With more usable data informing water management, California's existing water resources can better meet urban, agricultural, ecological, and industrial needs. Over the last few years, a host of extraordinary external partners joined forces with the state and launched a series of successful water data challenges to develop new water data tools and analysis. Engaging communities and enabling collaborative projects allows the state to leverage innovation and new ideas in solving California's water management challenges, while also receiving crucial feedback on the availability and usefulness of the data being published. The partner agency team realized that successful implementation of AB 1755 would require strong working relationships with external stakeholders. Through a partnership with the Water Foundation, Redstone Strategy Group conducted stakeholder outreach and developed a set of recommendations on governance and funding that led to the creation of the California Water Data Consortium. An advisory council and later a founders group took the Redstone report and turned it into action to create the consortium, an independent, nonprofit organization endorsed by the state. The consortium board of directors was formed, and articles of incorporation were filed with the Secretary of State in July 2019. The California Water Data Consortium recently appointed its inaugural president and CEO, Tara Moran. As a neutral organizational space, this new consortium aims to foster collaboration, entrepreneurship, and innovation by building trust, working together across sectors, and amplifying efforts to improve water data infrastructure. In the summer of 2019, the partner agency team released a journal about the implementation of the Open and Transparent Water Data Act, packed with information about ongoing and future work with water and ecological data. This journal will serve as a living document to provide the most up-to-date information to interested parties. Today, the library of available water and ecological data sets is expanding, and efforts are ongoing to make it more open and accessible. As we work toward our goal of making data more useful and sufficient to inform California water management decisions, we welcome any and all feedback. Use by organizations and individuals will help improve our data, as well as the valuable resources they measure. Data sets are only meaningful if people use them. Successful implementation of AB 1755 relies on the engagement and contributions of everyone who cares about California water. Please join our efforts by signing up for the AB 1755 listserv and actively participate in consortium efforts as they are rolled out this summer.
Okay, well, thank you very much for your attention on that video, and I think that we've got the Zoom bombing under control. So thank you, and it is my pleasure now to introduce you to the part of the group responsible for that comes from the state agencies, the implementing partners. And so with that, I'll just give you a quick introduction on the high-level timeline and purpose of the group, and then I'll show you some of the faces that you would have otherwise met in person today. So next slide. So as I mentioned, the legislation passed or became law in September of 2016, added to the Water Code. And so by the following fiscal year, we had launched this partner agency team. It's a team made up of eight representatives from 8 agencies. In fact, the legislation imposed requirements on only 4 state agencies, but we were fortunate to be joined, and exceedingly fortunate at that, to be joined by 4 additional agencies that volunteered. We, as it may not surprise you, depending on your experience with state agencies and government in general, we all have our own perspectives and responsibilities and mandates and cultures. We each as individuals and also as agencies have our unique sets of data management skills and perspectives and interests. And you can imagine that what this means is that we have a lot of interesting and engaging conversation that isn't always marked by 100% agreement. But we like that. We're very proud of that culture, and we enjoy the fact that together we push and we get farther than we would have any one of us on our own. And so it's with that, it's my, I will say that our real goals together would be to enhance the project outcomes that with AB 1755, note any areas of overlap and eliminate the redundancies, and also just together to discover new efficiencies. And I would say that for the last nearly 4 years, well, 3 since the group officially became formed, we have done that. And we continue to do that, and we look forward to doing that as we go on and working in close coordination and as part of the Water Data Consortium that we're launching today. So next slide. Okay, so the Department of Water Resources was actually given the specific responsibility to deliver on AB 1755, and we were burdened or committed to coordinate and collaborate with our partner agencies. Well, you'll see them momentarily. But so we have 9 members who participate regularly. Kam Yarkoveci is the official chair of the partner agency team, and I'm the co-chair. And then we have a number of wonderful and dedicated and skilled staff that you see there who keep us moving in the right direction on behalf of DWR. And then next slide. We have great participation, as you can see, from the State Water Resources Control Board. You've already heard from Joaquin Esquivel, the board chair, and we are fortunate to be joined by Greg Gearhart and Rafa Maestu, who are energetic and passionate about data and passionate about working together and challenging us as we go along. And they do a lot of work that's adjacent to AB 1755 that really helps to move the ball. Next slide. Then the California Water Quality Monitoring Council, which is chaired by Nick Martirano. Nick joins us and is exceedingly supportive and helpful, and we recognize that the council has its own data-related endeavors, and we have navigated a nice balance between the work that the council does and the work that Nick does with us on the 1755 implementation outright. So in all cases, our goal is to make data available and to inform decision making, and the council takes that and goes a little farther with information sharing and decision support tools that are question focused. So we really appreciate Nick's involvement. And next slide. And the California Department of Fish and Wildlife is the 4th agency that is named in the legislation. And we are fortunate to be joined by Tom Lupo, and a few of his staff have also joined us over the years. We are happy to have his participation. He also challenges us, but in a great way, and so we enjoy that. And then we'll look at the other agencies that have stepped forward in a voluntary manner. Next slide, please. So the Governor's Office of Planning and Research, and you'll hear from Debbie Franco in a little while, and I can't say enough good about her, but I will just try and leave it at that and let you know that we could not be luckier in having her as a champion and as a coordinating factor. And yeah, we're just very grateful for her engagement, and I look forward to her remarks later. And then let's turn to the next slide. The Natural Resources Agency, we have David Harris representing that group, and that DWR and Fish and Wildlife report under that structure, that agency. And then in the Cal EPA, of course, is the other major agency that has a lot of players. CNRA has recently released recently in the last few years, a portal or platform for open data, and it is our pleasure to use that and leverage the skills and talents and infrastructure that this group and David have made available to us. Next slide. As a counterpart to the CNRA, Open Data Platform is an open data portal that is hosted by the California Government Operations Agency, and we have been fortunate to be joined by several folks from that world, most notably Stu Drown, who is Undersecretary, I want to say, and he's been great. He's pulled in a million directions, as is his colleague Angie Courardi, but we have been fortunate to have their energy and their infrastructure as well. And finally, next slide, we have George Isaac from the Delta Stewardship Council, and George is helping to lead the effort to bring on a user interface for us so that the user experience in accessing data will be even more enjoyable. So with that, I believe we just want to urge you to be in touch with us and also to be in touch in general. Please go ahead and go to the next slide. We have just some links that, and if you haven't already joined our AB 1755 subscriber email, this top one, I'm sorry, the bottom one with the @ symbol is where you can send us a note and subscribe. We would love to have you on our rolls and help you stay up to date on all the exciting developments that are always coming forward and with greater and greater speed these days. So thank you all. And at this time, I believe that I will turn it over to Ariel.
Hi. So David Orth, a member of the Consortium Board of Directors from New Current Water, is next.
Good afternoon, everyone. Again, it's a pleasure to be here, and I'm happy to see so much participation. As Ariel mentioned, I'm David Orth. I'm a principal with the water consulting firm New Current Water and Land, and a member of the Consortium Board of Directors. I would first also like to join in thanking the partner agency team. We wouldn't be here without their leadership. That team has played a key role, as you've heard, and as far as supporting the selection of our new president and CEO, which I will introduce in a moment. They played a key role in providing essential input on the skills and the experience and the characteristics that we were seeking. Cam Yargavechi, who you've already heard from, on behalf of the partner agency team, played a very strong and active role in the selection of Tara. And it's these partnerships that play a very important role in creating a foundation. I was invited to join the consortium board in late 2019 and promptly accepted. Like all of us, I've had my own experiences with data management over my career in water district management that I wanted to essentially pay forward. And I very quickly found that the people supporting this effort are a tremendous group that I'm honored to be part of. Of course, anytime you get appointed to these kinds of organizations, you're immediately given an assignment, and I was promptly appointed to chair the CEO search committee. And frankly, as you know, the search committee and the consortium board hit the proverbial home run. I'm excited today to introduce Moran, our new president and CEO. Tara joins us from Stanford Water in the West, where she served as the Sustainable Groundwater Management Act program lead. She brings a strong amount of experience and leadership on water data collection, sharing and integration, and I think she's going to hit the ground running at top speed, and we're excited about that. Tara will join the consortium and the partnership it's created with the partner agencies and lead us into the next phase of our collective mission of achieving what our board member Eric Averett describes as data utopia, and I think we're all excited about seeing that play out. As many of us know, Tara has a tremendous skill in listening and connecting diverging interests. My interactions with her, I believe, over the last 8 years, I've found her to be very attentive and sensitive to diverging perspectives and has a very unique skill of bringing people together around a common mission. So Tara, on behalf of the Consortium Board of Directors, it's an absolute pleasure to introduce you as the first California Water Data Consortium President and Chief Executive Officer. Tara.
Oh, thank you so much for the kind introduction, Dave. As Dave mentioned, I'm Tara Moran, and I am absolutely thrilled to be here today and to be joining this amazing initiative. As we've already heard, the California Water Data Consortium was formed as a neutral space to share ideas and to work together and to expand access to open and transparent water data, which will ultimately support a more sustainable water future for all Californians. And I am so proud to be part of that vision. And I'm really looking forward to continuing this goal and hearing from, collaborating with, and working with all of you to move this incredible effort forward. I also really just want to take a moment to acknowledge all of the incredible work that has been done to get us to this point and for all of us to be here today. I'm so thankful for all of you here and for all the existing water-related data efforts that we've heard about, like the California Data Collaborative, the Internet of Water, and so many other efforts that are out there. And so with that in mind, I'm really coming into this position with a great deal of humility and eagerness to learn from and hear from all of you. But I really just want to say thank you to everyone who has helped with this effort to this point in time. And I'm excited to work with all of you moving forward. I also want to say a huge thank you to the consortium's board. They really are an incredibly wonderful group of individuals. And the consortium would not have been possible without their vision, their leadership, and a lot of hard work from all of them. So I'm excited to work with all of them and under their leadership to hear from and work with all of you. And so for those of you who have not had the opportunity to know who our board members are, we do have a few brief introductory videos from each of them, which we'll play now. So thank you.
Hi, my name is Mike Myatt, and I'm a program officer at the Water Foundation. I also have the pleasure of serving as the chair of the board of directors for the California Water Data Consortium. I'm involved with and excited for the future of the consortium because I believe our data challenges won't be solved by technology, but in fact by people, and we have the right people involved. That includes Tara Moran as our CEO, our fantastic and dedicated board, state leaders, and the ongoing collaboration of the state partner agency team, and many others in the larger water data community, all of you. I'm excited for what we can all accomplish together, and we have the right people to get this done.
Hi, my name is June Lopez, and I'm the General Manager of Molten Miguel Water District. And it is my pleasure to serve as the Treasurer for the California Water Data Consortium Board of Directors. The reason I got involved is because I truly believe that with better data, we can make more informed decisions to help all Californians. And what I'm most excited about is the opportunity to work with all of you to make this transformation happen, to help our industry and help all the communities that we serve. So look forward to working with you and hope you'll join us. Thank you.
Hi, I'm David Orth, a principal at New Current Water and Land Consulting with over 35 years of water district management experience. I joined the consortium board in October of 2019 and look forward to working with the consortium and its partner agency team to develop efficient data management solutions for the complex water challenges ahead.
Hi, my name is Meredith Lee and I'm a board member. What draws me into the California Water Data Consortium is the thoughtful energy of this community. It gives me hope for a more resilient and collaborative water future, a water future that is supported by data and connected with a range of human experience. What am I most excited about? That would be you. I'm excited about our collective creativity and the partnerships ahead. Thank you so much for being here.
Hi, I am Devin Upadhyaya, and I'm the Chief Operating Officer of the Metropolitan Water District of Southern California, and I'm proud to be a founding board member of the California Water Data Consortium. I'm excited to see the consortium moving California towards a more open and transparent water data framework. When you think about the future of water, it's inherently uncertain. Whether it's climate change or more frequent or extreme drought events, new emerging water quality issues, increasing operational costs, or just our aging infrastructure. These are all challenges that will require imagination for us to plan for and adapt to. Reliable water data will be at the core of any approach that we use to improve our management. I see the California Water Data Consortium helping to streamline data submittals for water agencies and improving the accessibility of that water data in a way that allow research institutions and public stakeholders to become more involved in helping us find solutions to these issues. It'll allow us to share operational data and learn from the lessons of others. I see the consortium helping to define technological and data content requirements that will be essential to effective water management in the 21st century and beyond.
Hi, I'm Julia Banerjee, Director of the Environment Program at the S.T. Bechtel Jr. Foundation, and I'm a proud member of the board for the California Water Data Consortium. For the past decade, I've had the great privilege to work with the water community to ensure that California can meet the water needs of people and nature now and in the future. And over the course of many projects, I've observed the power of data. Data can build common understanding, and it can enable innovative programs. But it can also create friction and fuel conflict. I believe that we can use data for good, but that it will require deliberate and coordinated action. And that is why I'm very excited to see the consortium launch. The consortium will create a space where we can work together to develop a more intentional approach to data and ultimately support decisions that help us manage this very precious resource.
My name is Adrian Covert. I am Vice President of Public Policy at the Bay Area Council, and I'm also a member of the California Water Data Consortium Board of Directors, where I chair the Committee on Governance. I'm involved with the consortium because I firmly believe that what gets measured gets managed. and I'm thrilled about where the consortium is in the constellation of California water management, because there has never been an institution like it to improve water use for people, for the environment, and for all Californians. So this is an exciting time, and I'm proud to be part of it.
Hi there, my name is Eric Averett, and I'm the General Manager of the Rosedale Rio Bravo Water Storage District located in Kern County. Like many of my colleagues, I am involved in numerous other water-related organizations, each of which is tasked with collecting and reporting water data to various local, state, and federal agencies. I also serve on the board of the California Water Data Consortium. My interest in this organization is to advance and create believers in what I call water data utopia. Data utopia is a place where we have efficiently identified, collected, aggregated, and disseminated water data in a way that it is readily accessible to inform decision makers, regulatory agencies, and the public stakeholders that we serve. I'm excited to be part of the California Water Data Consortium as we embark on implementing the goals and objectives of AB 1755. Data is a very powerful tool when used to inform public policy and our understanding and management of what is arguably our most precious resource in California. The California Water Data Consortium, working with other like-minded organizations, will help us sharpen this tool. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Debbie Franco. I'm the Senior Advisor for Water and Rural Affairs in the Governor's Office of Planning and Research. I'm also honored to sit on the Board of Directors of the California Water Data Consortium. I'm so excited to be a part of building this organization that will provide a neutral space where we can all collaborate on expanding access to open and transparent water data. I hope you'll join us.
Aren't they incredible?
Great. So that was wonderful. So now we are turning towards the future, and Kamiar and Mike will be back to help frame moving forward for us.
Thank you, Ariel. This is Kamiar again. I think by now in the program, hopefully you'll see that my initial statement that AB 1755 has changed the landscape of water data publication in California it's real. The amazing partner agency team, the consortium board is now really poised to take AB 1755 implementation to the next level. So we're not going to sit on our laurels. We've made some significant accomplishments, but we have a lot more work to do together, and you will be a part of that. One is we're going to continue to inventory and publish state water data. We've got a long list of data sets, and we've been publishing them throughout the last couple of years, but we want to continue to identify, organize, and publish data. We also, as part of AB 1755, want to federate federal water data into this platform. And we are working to meet the first deadline that's in the bill by this August to begin publishing federal agency data, their data catalogs, metadata, and then providing access to that data. This will be an ongoing process over the coming years. Also, this is now, we're really set the table for the partner agency team and state agencies to work with the board of directors of the consortium to convene the steering committee of the consortium and begin working on data user work groups and technical work groups. The state agencies are committed to be part and parcel of the Water Data Consortium moving forward. And even in the last year, we have been working together on some initial pilot projects, most notably working to streamline how water data is reported to the state of California. You've also heard about the Internet of Water, and we've been working with them on pilot projects, and they now have put together what they call a state agency peer-to-peer network, and we're going to be very active participants in that. And so now I'd like to turn it over to Mike Myatt, to hear what the consortium board would like to get done in the coming months.
Thank you, Kamyar. So you've had a chance to hear now from several of us on the board and the partner agency team, and I really want to echo all the thanks to the partner agency team and all the incredible work that has happened already related to AB 1755 implementation. And now looking forward, this is really an outstanding time for all of you to engage with us, and the priorities for the consortium are shared with the partner agency team. Kamyar touched on them. We're going to be building out and creating a steering committee in the coming months. That will include also initiating work groups, and we're committed to working hard on streamlining data submission to the state in partnership with the, and it even sounds funny to say in partnership with the state partner agency team, because in fact they are part of the consortium. So it's something we're all doing together. So this is a really good time to engage. It provides several opportunities for you guys to engage with us. Also with Tara starting in August, I expect that we'll see an uptick in activity and public engagement with her involvement and having staff to help us. But this only works with robust collaboration among diverse stakeholders. It's not really just about the board and the partner agency team. We're really doing this all in service of you, the people who collect, report, and use data. And so I really just want to make a pitch. You've lasted this long, you've watched all these videos, you've got a little bit of context. We're about to turn to the part of the program where we get to hear from all of you. And I hope you will stick around. First, I'm going to pass to Ariel here in just a minute to field some questions in the large group, and then we'll be able to get into some breakout groups later where you can meet some new people and share your ideas with us. So please stick around with that, and let's pass it to Ariel.
And then Debbie Franco from both the partner agency team and the consortium will work with me. At this point in time, we've got about 15 minutes to hear from some of you. So I mentioned the raise hands function. If you want to do that, you can also add some comments and questions to chat. And you'll have more time in the breakouts to get into more substantive conversation, but we wanted to offer this opportunity if folks had questions, clarifying questions at this point in time. And when we do call on you, if you can identify yourself, that would be great. And I'm going to turn it over to Debbie. She was going to, we sent out a survey, and for those of you who haven't filled out the survey, we'll be adding the link to chat. We would love to hear from more of you, but Debbie was going to offer some observations on what we've heard so far.
Hi, everyone. Again, I just want to echo everyone else's gratitude to all of you for showing up. When we were planning this, we were wondering who would come. And so it's great to see all of you and to see the energy that continues to be associated with this effort. The survey, however, did not reflect the same level of engagement that we've come to look forward to in this space. So I will say we only have a little more than a dozen responses. And so please, please, please take a moment to fill it out. And we really are reading the comments. It's not your standard survey where you just check a bunch of boxes. We're really interested in your thoughtful feedback on where we are and where you'd like to see us go in the future. I will just take the pressure off of the partner agency team and say that virtually all of the evaluatory boxes said good or average. I think we got one poor evaluatory comment about how we're doing implementing AB 1755. So overall, still really good energy around the work that's being done to make data open and transparent. Where the poor evaluatory comments came in was around the usability. And that's certainly something that's on our radar, and I know that we're all looking forward to working together, both within the state and in collaboration within the consortium to make the data more usable. Beyond that, mostly folks reflected on their interests related to the consortium. I was actually surprised we had more folks who filled out the survey who haven't been engaged in this work and are just sort of joining the effort, and that's awesome. And we're so glad to be building the space. This is a space where we are all better together, and the more of us that are working together, the more likely we're able to produce outcomes that benefit more a broader space of people who have interests in water data. Beyond that, I really am interested in hearing from folks. I would just say, beyond questions for clarification, if anyone has a broad-based comment they'd like to offer, I'd like to open it up to that also. I don't know that I can see people's hands raised. I imagine, Ariel, you and Julia are handling that.
Yeah, at this point there aren't hands raised. If somebody would like to raise their hand and there is something from the chat, this is from Michael Gardner. The other recent landmark California legislation was SGMA. Is there any particular energy in the 1755 community going into the evolving situation with GSAs, there we go. As they implement their DMS requirements, any shared schema, metadata, entity naming, APIs, etc.
So I am going to ask Eric Averett if he would like to say a few words. He's on the board of directors and has been collaborating with Gary Darling at DWR and with John Helly down at UC San Diego in this space. So Eric, can you say a few words?
Sure. So, you know, we've been working to develop what I would characterize as a standardized template that may be a prototype for others to use in submitting data for a variety of regulatory programs, and really appreciate the work that John Helly and Gary and others have done to kind of facilitate that. The idea is that we would take this as an opportunity to work with state agencies to see where there's overlap in data submission and see if we can, to some extent, find ways to, for example, if water level data is being reported, to report it one time to the state and make sure that it's disseminated to the various state agencies that are looking for it. And so we've been working to put together a template and hopefully can present that and continue to work with the state agencies to find a way to get that incorporated into reporting requirements.
So we have another question here, and this one's directed to Tara. As CEO of the Water Data Consortium, what will be your, and this is new to me, I don't know if it's BHAG or BHAG, your big, hairy, audacious goal for the consortium?
Yeah, thank you, Abdul, for the question. I mean, obviously our big goal for the consortium is open and transparent data that's accessible and useful for people to make informed water management decisions that are able to improve the lives for all Californians. So that's the big goal, but doesn't get us down to sort of the concrete, how are we actually going to implement that? And I think one of the first things we really want to tackle is one of the things that Eric just touched on, which is really starting to streamline data reporting, which really, you know, serves to improve both improve outcomes for reporting entities and the burden that is reporting, but it also allows state agencies to streamline some of their QA and QC around data as well, and ultimately make that data available to users more readily. So that's going to be one of the key areas that we target initially moving forward.
Thanks,
So,
Tara.
Go ahead,
Oh, I'm sorry, Ariel. We just have a few more minutes, and I did ask someone to say a few words. Can I move to that, or okay? So I asked on the side Rich Palou if he would be willing to say a few words about his experiences so far and what he's hoping to see in the future. And Rich, if you can just tell everyone who you are and why you're such a pivotal player in all of this.
Okay, I had to unmute myself. I think we're all really big pivotal players in this, but thank you for those kind words, Debbie. I started school in 2015, about 5 years ago, and I had the great fortune of being a PhD student during Sigma and during AB 1755, which transformed data availability and completely changed how I approached different problems in California water. One thing that I would love to see in the consortium is some momentum build behind some specific projects that exemplify the goals and mission of the consortium. I think that it's uniquely positioned between these state agencies and nonprofits, academia, all of the sectors really, to bring together the right talent and the right people and mobilize around a few projects. So, for example, someone brought up sustainable groundwater management. A dream of mine has been to, build a California or Central Valley-wide groundwater monitoring network that provides high-frequency ambient groundwater level data at a much greater resolution than CASGEM. And this would, for instance, enable an open API that agencies could use with sustainable groundwater management planning, and that the state could use to evaluate the success of the GSPs. So that's just one example of many. I think next week, if anyone's attending the Water Data Science Symposium, there will be a lot more great ideas of people that are really on the ground working with water data in California. And I know that a lot of the folks here will also be there. So those are some of my visions and hopes for the consortium.
Great.
Thanks.
Thanks, Rich. I would just note there's another, this seems to be somewhat related because Rich came from academia. Somebody, Danielle Bram is asking if somebody could speak to the overall vision for involving academia and higher ed, particularly CSU and UC systems.
Tara, did you want to say a few words about that?
Sure, yeah, I'd be happy to. I think this is a fantastic question because I obviously come from an academic background and I have a lot of ideas about how academia could be involved. I would love to also chat with you about your ideas. I think part of what the value of the consortium is that we're going to be able to leverage all of these different ideas, different initiatives, and really make this data, number one, valuable to everyone, but hear what everyone wants from the consortium and from AB 1755, and ultimately converge to make all of that happen. So I would love to hear more and talk about the ideas that you would have around that. And I will be hosting open hours once I start in August, and we'll also reach out to you because really this is your initiative. So.
Great, thank you. And that's perfect timing. We're about to transition, and I think Debbie had a teaser to offer.
Well, let me first just say, also, we're about to shift into breakouts. I know sometimes this is when people want to cut out, but please, especially ideas like this, please bring these ideas into the breakouts where we'll be capturing the notes and feeding that into how we all move forward together. So please hang out and participate, and please make sure you raise those really good ideas and provide us with some more specifics about what you think the opportunity is. The teaser is that now is the time, but don't move yet. Now is the time for everyone to go and to bring back the drink that relaxes them and feels celebratory, because when we come back in 5 minutes, we're going to make a toast. And I think I would like to see everyone be a part of that really positive energy. So Ariel, I'll let you give the criteria for the break.
5-minute break. And we've also, just a reminder, we've added the link to the survey. We would love it if folks copy that and work on that piece. So we will meet you in 5 minutes with our beverages. Okay, everyone, we are back from break.
All right. Is it my turn, Ariel?
Yes, we're ready to advance the slide to the next slide. There we are. There's our toast slide.
All right, so I want to see everybody's glasses. Even if it's water, it's okay, no judgment. I personally have my favorite Rush Creek Lodge glass with my pessimist glass of wine. So I feel very honored to be the one to be able to make the toast. This whole space is I feel like the best work that I get to participate in. And so here's to everyone who is here today, everyone who has contributed along the way, and to the future that we can all accomplish together using data to be better stewards of water resources. Cheers.
Cheers.
So I also have the privilege of being the one who gets to say all the thank yous. I feel like that's the most awesome job. And so I personally have to take a point of personal privilege and start by thanking Ken Alex, who was the previous director of the Governor's Office Planning and Research. He came into OPR with an amazing vision for how we could make all state data more useful and use it to inform decision making in a more constructive fashion. And he's the one who nudged me into this space where I have had such an awesome time. Although I will confess there was a little elbowing in the beginning, but once we got past that, such an awesome time working with the partner agency team. It feels like a family. Everything Chris said, I feel exactly the same toward her. And as you all who I know interact with state agencies often, that's not always how it is. We really have created a space. Chris and Kamiyar have created the space, and I want to honor and thank them. Joaquin and Greg have provided great leadership in this space also. As you know, we have excellent leadership from our secretaries who signed a letter very early on that was pivotal to bringing people together around creating the consortium. I also, I was so impressed and amazed by how the partner agency team leaned into this idea that even though the activities were directed to the state, there was no way we could succeed fully if we didn't have a space to collaborate with folks outside of the state. And I mean, it is truly an amazing thing to have state agency folks lean into this idea that we needed to create something outside of us. It truly was part of the spirit of this whole effort. And that led us to partnership with the Water Foundation. And again, Wade was at the Water Foundation back then, and Mike certainly was the driver in all of this at Water Foundation, and entered into a really key partnership with us to convene the Redstone process that you heard about earlier, and subsequently, because we weren't done yet, subsequently an advisory council that many of you were either on or participated in some way. And I want to not lose track of the folks who sat on the advisory council. Also key players who came to the table. We had such an amazing array of folks across the sectors who aligned around the importance of doing this work. It's the only place in water work that I do where we have everyone nodding their heads together. And so to everyone who sat on the advisory council, a deep sense of gratitude. That brings me to the founders. Let's see, we called them the founders table first, and then we called them the funders table, or maybe it was vice versa. But creating the consortium really could not have happened if people didn't show up with their checkbooks. Again, it was amazing to me how people just out of the gate were leaning in. Metropolitan Water District, Moulton Niguel Water District, Rosedale Rio Bravo, and the member agencies really saw the potential here and didn't hesitate. And that is what has really created the foundation that we've been building for the last year that has allowed the consortium to start, and for the hiring of Tara as the CEO. That effort, those contributions, the dollars and cents do matter. I also was about to forget, but can't forget Joya Banerjee with SD Bechtel Jr. Foundation. They were at the walking lockstep at the table when Water Foundation joined, and they're so good at taking a back seat. They're easy to forget, but so important in creating the foundation for this effort. However, while we want you to contribute financially and we think there's a good business story to incentivize those contributions, there are many other ways to contribute. And I do want to offer a special thank you to Ryan and Jamie from DWR, who worked on the videos and all of the mechanics of this meeting. I have to say, putting together the board video was painful, and I am so impressed by how good they made it look. So thank you to them, and to Aaron, Jonathan, Hannah, and Warren, who are sort of our support team at the board. They work for board members, and they are truly the ones who do the work and get things done. And to Nancy Saraceno, who has been our legal rock as we've built the consortium. And I'm saying all these thank yous because I know a lot of this work happened outside of the view of all of your view, but it was so important. And I want you to know that people have been working really hard. And I also want you to know that we are still just starting. So we really honestly are looking both within the partner agency team and in the consortium to bring people together in this space to build on and align all of the excellent work that's already going on out there that you all are a part of. I know I'm echoing, you probably are tired of hearing this message now because I think we've all said it, but I want to put a little more meat to how you can engage. So we certainly want you to participate in the consortium. As Tara comes in, we will be rolling out the work groups and the steering committee, et cetera. You can sign up for more information at info@cawaterdata.org, super easy to remember, and I think it'll be posted at the end. And you don't have to be appointed to anything. This is a space where everyone is invited to participate. You can provide in-kind support. As I mentioned, we have a bunch of support staff who are doing the web page and designing logos and doing a whole bunch of other work that's just the essential mechanics of building an organization. And of course, you can write a check. We won't say no. We really believe that as we succeed, we will save money. We'll save money in how much time and effort it takes to submit water data to the state. We expect to see cost savings for folks who use the data, who will hopefully not have to transform data and clean it a million times to get it into a format to analyze it, because we'll be better connecting the stewards of the data with the actual life of the data. So you'll be able to rely on high quality data. And we think we'll be saving money in not doing a whole bunch of redundant data collection and analysis across, I mean, I can't tell you how many times I stumble across agencies who have just collected basically the same data set or something so close that we could have augmented the contract and saved money. I am pretty sure that happens beyond the state too. So we think it's a good investment. And most importantly, we think that working together, we will make water resources in California more reliable and sustainable. So that's all the thank yous. And please, if I forgot anyone, there are so many people who are contributing. Just know that every single person's contribution has been very valuable. Thank you.
Great, thanks, Debbie. So at this point, we will go into breakouts. We will send you into breakouts and pop you out, as I mentioned, without your needing to click on anything. And we'll reconvene to have some quick sharing out of thoughts afterwards. And let's see, I think, Julia, are we ready to go?
Yes, we are.
Great, okay. And so let's move ahead then.
Here we go. See you all in 25 minutes. Just so you know, the rooms will automatically close after 25 minutes. You'll get a 15-second little notification, and I will also broadcast a 5-minute notification to let you know that we've got 5 minutes remaining. All right, have great conversations.
Great, thank you.
Hi, to those of you who are not in breakout rooms yet, feel free to reach out to me here via text, via the chat, if you need any support joining a group. I see one person just joined our meeting, so I'll assign you to a group. Anyone else, as I said, feel free to reach out if you need any support via chat, or you can also text me if need be, 530-574-7508. Hi, if you're just joining the meeting, we are currently in breakout groups and we've got 5 minutes remaining. I can put you into one if you like. You can let me know by raising your hand by dialing *9.
Debbie Franco had to step out, and she had been trying to track us all in the distance to sort of report out on what she'd seen. And so what I'm going to suggest is that maybe I'm going to point to a few facilitators, Meredith, and I'm just looking for faces here. Adrian and Greg, maybe do you just want to offer some thoughts on what you heard?
Sure, quite quickly. Our group was noting some of the potential challenges and opportunities around data standards and how that ties in with streamlining data submissions. So there was a desire to try to get concrete examples of where there's existing duplication or redundancies and how the consortium can really show our value by showing where we are now and where we are in 6 months, a year, based on these specific examples. And Eric happened to be in my session, so he was noting some of the initial work done in this area as a start, and that seemed to be well received by the group.
Great. Thanks, Meredith. And then Adrian?
He might not be able to. Let me unmute him right now.
Oh.
Because we locked the mute.
Oh, we locked the mute.
Thank you. Yes, it was telling me I could not unmute myself. But thank you. We had a good discussion. We were just getting fired up, but we did get a couple of good points across. There seemed to be a lot of consensus about the opportunity for the consortium to be focusing data work at a watershed level. A lot of work being done in California is being done at the watershed level. We discussed the Mokelumne, North Coast rivers as good opportunities to start with a few test cases. There was discussion about demonstration projects that are being done all across California and the ability for the consortium to use the tools that have been developed by various demonstration projects across the country and leverage those tools that have been created to further effect and elsewhere to other projects. It was also discussed about the need to focus on results, especially within the first year, not just make decisions on, there was comments about decisions at various local and state agencies being done on an ad hoc basis or a place-based basis. But we need to think about prioritizing data projects that have inherent scalability to elsewhere in California. That needs to become a criteria for projects that we focus on first. And that was right around the time when the clock struck out.
Yeah, I think we went slightly longer, but it came very fast, didn't it? Okay, great. Greg, how about your group?
Yeah, hi. So in the achievement thing question, there was a broad range of suggestions that range from seeing better relationships being built through philanthropy, academia, private, and what have you. The need to really focus on some standards and make development in the standards area, both in terms of protocols and standards as from a technologist perspective, but also there was a suggestion that an achievement in the next year on metadata and making consistent metadata guidance available for people. We also talked about the need for doing actual prototypes and focusing on machine to machine, because that's not only the future, but it's the now in terms of what kinds of achievements we could try in the next year. So examples of things that we could iterate on and learn from, and et cetera. When it came to the ways to sort of measure success, we had a really vibrant discussion about actual things that we thought we could start doing now. One of the members talked about the need to look at academia, and so citations of the data would be a good metaphor and analogy for our purposes. So how many data sets get cited in government compliance or government decision-making processes, and sort of linking that to the usability or the use of that data. And this goes beyond just sort of like the loading of how many people hit and download the data sets. This would be taking it to that level of use. And then there was a really vibrant discussion again about the machine to machine kind of thing. And maybe we could even demonstrate a project where a compliance data flow could be automated through a machine to machine process. So there, in other words, no humans involved, but there would still be security and assurances of data quality. And so that was a really interesting idea. Looking at the life cycle of the data to better understand where these burdens of lifting the data collection exist, root cause analysis, and then in those root cause analyses, maybe find some low-hanging fruit with indicators that could be measured in the first year or beyond. And then we really, there was also an emphasis on the need to sort of have a long vision, even though this was like, what can we do now? There was recognition that some of this stuff would take statutory things, and we might need to find ways to address those too.
Great. Well, I think we're about ready to transition to Mike and Camiar, and maybe we can transition, but Mike was also a facilitator. Maybe if you just give us a feel for your group, and then sort of transition into our closing, the two of you.
Sure, Ariel, thank you. I'd be happy to do that. Yeah, the breakout was really fun. I think everyone else was experiencing we just flat didn't have enough time. I wish I could have spent more time with the people in my group. And so it's just an indicator of what we have in front of us in the future and opportunities to talk together and figure this stuff out. Some things that come up in ours were questions about integrating with federal partners, which I know is something that we're interested in doing. Several comments on building out use cases, engaging disadvantaged communities and creating use cases that are applicable to them as well, not just having the state be in charge of all of that. Doing broad outreach so that people understand what the mission of the consortium is, and that it's done to groups that aren't just in the know right now. There was discussion of the situation right now with our budget, and that data is often something that is on the chopping block. And so to try to reinforce and help with the messaging of how important this is, and to continue to collect data and make sure it's important. We also talked about metrics and how to develop performance indicators so that we know what we will know when we have succeeded. So I guess that's what I'll say, just seeing that we're running out of time, and I want to leave room for Camiar, and I want to make some general comments too. I just really want to thank all of you, the folks that joined today, the partner agency team, for all of the work that you've done in the last 4 years to get where we are today already, and seeing what impact you're having in the world. And it's really awe-inspiring. I want to thank my colleagues on the board for everything that you have done to help build this organization. All of our funders and in-kind support, the behind-the-scenes work just for this meeting today. I know there was folks putting in hours and hours of time on weekends and working hard to stitch together videos. And so I thank all of you. Debbie had to unexpectedly, and so unfortunately she's not here, but one person that she did not thank, because obviously she wouldn't do this, is her thanking herself. But so I wanted to thank her and embarrass her a little bit, but I don't think she's here. So please, next time you see her, thank her. She's really the glue that brings us all together. And her leadership is just so important to all of this. So I wanted to thank her for that. Please get involved. Join a work group, engage with our steering committee, reach out to Meredith if you want to participate in a data challenge. Join the California Water Data Symposium on Monday and Tuesday if you want to hear about what's happening there. I think that link was shared in the chat earlier by Anna Holder. Join the California Water Data Summit that the Data Collaborative puts on every year in August. It's August 20th and 21st this year, and virtual, so easy to join remotely. And don't forget, we still want your feedback. So if you have not had a chance to provide everything you wanted today, or you think of something later, fill out that survey or just reach out to us at the addresses you see in front of you, info@cawaterdata.org, or visit our website. And Kamyar, I want to pass back to you now to close us out.
Thank you, Mike, and thank you, everyone. At the beginning, we said that this event was to re-engage and regroup and to re-energize. I know I feel re-energized. I think with the Water Data Consortium poised to really get active, we're going to have even many new opportunities to scale up and help implement 1755. I know it would have been nice to have more time today, but hopefully we've whetted your appetites and prepared you to engage in the consortium's work. We're hoping to do a similar webinar in the August timeframe, and that's at the time when we'll be also beginning to bring on federating some federal data sets and catalogs onto the AB 1755 platform. So stay tuned, stay connected. Please sign up for the AB 1755 listserv, the Water Data Consortium listserv. Check out our websites. We'll be updating the implementation journal as we reach the next August milestone. And I did hear, I was in the breakout with Tara, and she said that come August, she's going to be having virtual office hours. So sharpen your ideas and your questions and join us then. So I want to thank, Tara, did you want to say something?
Oh, this was just Ariel. I was going to note we're looking at another meeting in August as well, just as an add-on. Go ahead, Kamyar.
Sure. So last but not least, I wanted to thank all of you for participating, the partner agency team for really doing the heavy lifting over the last few years, the board of directors of the consortium who really bring a lot of expertise, passion, and energy into this effort. And then the consensus and collaboration program from CSUS who helped us orchestrate this. And then there are many names, so I'm just going to call out three because these are the unsung heroes. We have Francisco Guzman, who helped us have seamless video presentations and slide changes. Julia Van Horn, who helped us move around this virtual space. And then last but not least, Ariel Ambruster, who's actually been helping us facilitate this from the very beginning of this initiative.
Wow,
So
that's true.
with that, I'll turn it over to you, Ariel.
Great. Well, thanks. And I think, it's great to hear that we wanted a little more time to talk. We'll be thinking about that moving forward and how to really engage you all and use your time wisely. And so very much appreciate everyone's participation. And we look forward to working more and more in depth with you moving forward. Thank you and have a wonderful Friday evening and a wonderful weekend.